On today's show, time to meet the Gould Brothers, Minnesota's trick shooters with a flair for brotherly love.
How many of these?
Plus, how many fish can you catch in one day if you really tried?
But it's a big old bass!
I got one!
Later, fishing is coming to your neighborhood thanks to DNR's F.I.N program. Watch your bobbers. And we'll continue our series, A Walk in the Park. This week, Interstate State Park, a scenic getaway on the beautiful St. Croix River. Those stories and more next.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's Select GMC dealers.
Hi everybody, Raven and I welcome you to the show. Get this, there's some new gunslingers in Minnesota known as the Gould Brothers. But man, can they do magic with a shotgun. Meet the Gould Brothers. If you know sibling rivalry,
He was blessed with some nice big muscles, but as you're about to see, I was the one blessed with talents.
you'll get a bang out of this one.
The most basic level, I can grab my clay with my hand, just toss it up in the air, and shoot it like so.
Or I can make it a little harder and change the way I throw it, like putting it on the stock of my gun.
Or how about right off my left foot?
Turn and face you nice folks, throw two over my head.
And how about we grab one more to make it three and throw them behind the back?
Meet Minnesota's newest hotshots, the Gould Brothers, Steve and Aaron.
I was just going to go to my weak side and shoot left-handed.
Your weak side. So you're implying you have a strong side?
So goes the Gould Brothers act. Two shotgunning trick shooters, two jokers combined to make one very popular shooting show at outside sporting events across the country, including Minnesota's Game Fair. So how is it two brothers grow up to be sharpshooters with an eye for showbiz?
Aaron grew up hunting and shooting. I didn't. But in college, I gained a new respect and passion for the outdoors. Well, Aaron had come across some Tom Knapp videos, and at some point we started saying, well, let's try that. And then it got to be less and less about shooting to get better at hunting and more about, can you do this?
At first it started with just, let's throw up one or two clays and see if we can hit them. And then it progressed to 3, 4, and trying to shoot behind the back, and the whole progression, and it just blew up from there.
There was a point where we thought, we got some shots down. We can do some pretty neat things with our shotguns in the backyard when nobody's watching. But then the question that came to mind was, we had seen a Tom Knapp show, and that was fueled to the fire with our passion, but then the question became, can we entertain? Can we stand up in front of people and shoot consistently and show them a good time?
In 2009, the Gould Brothers performed for the first time, for friends and relatives only.
Even though you're in front of family and friends, you think that's an easy environment. I mean, those are the people that see you every day. Sometimes it's hard when we get a lot of family at shows because you feel like you need to impress.
Then one day, they were asked to shoot for money. Well, sort of.
First show, we got 2 cases of shells for our payment.
Well, we kind of said, well, whatever you're willing to pay us, we'll come.
And of course, maybe our first show was worth 2 cases of shells.
I'm not sure it was worth 2 cases of shells.
Today, the Gould Brothers perform more than 35 shows a year on behalf of Winchester Arms and Ammo.
Well, it definitely has evolved into a career.
While there's no shortage of wing shooters in Minnesota, hunting pheasants or busting clay birds, the ability to make trick shots is a most elusive target.
An average practice session is around 500 rounds a piece of shotgun.
Okay, Gould Brothers, one last question. Be honest.
Who's the better shot? But I don't like that question, but that's the one that's always asked.
Truth is, it doesn't matter. As they say, the show must go on till the salad's made.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. We had fun.
You want Aaron on there too?
Yeah.
You don't have to have him.
Brotherly love. Nice shot.
I'm on the board. Largemouth bass, off the list.
Up next, Travis Frank tries to answer a fishing question. How many different fish species can you catch in one day?
Short head red horse.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Minnesota Select GMC Dealers, Connecticut, and by Starkey Hearing Technologies.
Up next, you know, bass, walleye, northern pike, they all get the attention here in Minnesota. But in reality, there's lots of different fish species swimming around. So how many of those could you catch? Travis Frank decided to find out what he could catch.
What a gorgeous day. A perfect day to try something new.
You know, it's crazy to think that there's over 160 different fish in Minnesota. So it got me thinking, how many of these can I catch in just one day?
An odd quest, sure, but hey, why not?
Walleyes, bass, and northern, those are the obvious fish, but I'm talking quillback, bullheads, carp, suckers.
I prepare myself for anything and everything.
I don't know what I'm gonna use until I get there, so I have to have a lot of different options. I bought a permanent marker. I'm gonna X them out when I catch them. I gotta stop talking about it. I need to start fishing.
Starting at daybreak, the clock ticks.
It's a good morning to fish. So I have the potential to take down 4, maybe 5 fish on my list just right here. And this potentially could catch them all. Got him. What is it? Fish number 1, it's not a walleye, but it's a big old bass. I'm on the board. Largemouth bass, off the list. Got him. What is it? That's an easy one. Number 2 is a bluegill. There it is. Got him, got him, got him, got him, got him, got him, got him. It's a walleye. Minnesota state fish. Walleye.
On a hot start, I make a move.
This particular area seems to hold a lot of sheephead. Oh, it took everything. That was not a sheephead. That was a northern or a muskie. That's how it's gonna be, then that's how it's gonna be. I'm not messing around anymore, fish. This is like muskie candy. Come on, baby.
This is where the mind game begins.
Of course, I have to use my time wisely, so I'm a little bit torn as to how long I want to give this muskie. Tie in another jig.
Losing patience, I changed the game.
Panfish, gonna knock them off the list real quick. There he is. Crappie. Time to move.
Leaving the lake, something catches my eye.
Got him, got him. Perch, off the list. Check.
It's about numbers, and my options are endless.
And there's ponds like this in every development in the cities, and anybody can come fish them at any time. Oh, we got a new one. I got a green sunfish. Got him, got him, got him. But it's a yellow bullhead. Yellow bullhead. Got the carp out of the way. Common carp, see ya. Ooh, what's this? It's a short head red horse.
Next up, it's off to the river.
What is it? Oh my. That, my friends, is a channel catfish. I've caught a lot of really small fish today.
I wanted something big.
All right, we're trolling for gators now. When I say gators, I mean northern pike. Wow, did he just absolutely crush it. Whoa, stay hooked up, baby. Now that will work for my pike species. Northern pike. Got him. Yep, it's a white crappie. I did not think I was gonna catch this fish.
As the sun lowers, I return for one more shot at that darn sheephead.
There it is. There it is. Is it the right fish? It's just another walleye.
Not tonight.
Well, my day is done. You can see here that I really didn't do that well. I only caught 11 fish of different species. 11 out of 161. That's not that many. It was still fun. It was a good effort, and I challenge you to do the same sometime.
When we return, finding a place to fish in the Twin Cities just got a whole lot easier thanks to the F.I.N program. Details coming up.
Closed captioning is brought to you by The Yard, premier manufacturers of maintenance-free outdoor patio furniture and accessories from recycled plastic.
Up next, a story that you could say is about teaching your youngsters a lifetime sport. Now that's pretty important. In my case, a lifetime sport is fishing, and it could be true for your kid as well, as we bring you the story about a program called F.I.N. It's called the F.I.N.
Catch a fish?
F.I.N is short for a DNR program called Fishing in the Neighborhood.
I caught a couple of fish. Most of them were bluegills.
Hey, Angel, you got it?
F.I.N seems like such a right thing to do. So perfect for a Twin Cities with so much neighborhood fishing water.
I got one!
DNR fish biologist Mark Nemeth explains.
The Fishing the Neighborhood program began in 2001, and the goal of the program was to create more opportunities here in the metro area so families, children, school kids could get connected with the outdoors and basically bring fishing a little closer to home for a lot of the people that live here in the metro area. Who here has gone fishing before? Raise your hand.
Not as many hands go up as a generation ago, I suppose. Too many ball sports and video games, perhaps.
If people have skipped fishing for a generation and they may not know some of the things that about fishing or some of the things they might need to know, we're hopefully trying to fill that gap. So not only is the resource managed for that type of opportunity, that beginning experience, we're trying to provide some of that information too so that we can bring down that barrier so more people can get out and get connected to the outdoors and use fishing as a kind of a neat channel of getting outside and doing that.
Who wants Lucky Blue? Looks like you get Lucky Blue. There you go.
How about you come right here? Make sure you have enough space.
What does that mean? Click what?
Oh yeah. Oh, you had a bite. Today we're at Schwann's Lake in the city of Eagan, and the city of Eagan has several fishing in the neighborhood ponds that are managed jointly with the city of Eagan and the DNR fisheries. This is kind of a typical F.I.N lake. It's probably about 10 acres in size, probably about 10 feet in average depth, and most years we're stocking it with bluegills, crappies, and largemouth bass.
This is the group of school agers from New Horizon Academy in Burnsville, range from 5 to 12. So some have been fishing before, some this is a completely new experience, and they all seem to have a lot of fun.
It was really fun. I was trying to catch 10 fish, but I only caught one, and I think it was a sunfish. And it was really little, it was like that little.
There was several kids that had never caught a fish before, and so today was their first time to actually go fishing and then have some success and catch a fish. For me, when I was a kid, I just loved fishing. You know, I had parents who exposed me to it, and so through that, you know, I found a career and also a lifelong hobby that's, you know, fulfilling and rewarding and just a lot of fun. So to, you know, pass that on to someone else is, you know, pretty neat experience, I think.
Go to DNR's website to learn more about F.I.N. A mouse click shows which lakes have been stocked with fish.
I wanted to catch a sunny, but I didn't really have any luck today.
No luck? Yet another fishing lesson known to anglers everywhere. Welcome to the club, kid.
So we have arrived at the widest pothole in the park.
Coming up, we'll continue our Walk in the Park series with a visit to Interstate State Park.
One of our glacial potholes.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Jesse Treble Foundation Systems and Safe Basements Waterproofing. Radco Truck Accessories, Game Fair, and by Seven Clans Casino.
Time now to continue our series we call A Walk in the Park that features our beautiful Minnesota state parks. And up next is Interstate State Park, brought to life by our videographer, Mickey Us.
Interstate State Park is just 288 acres, so it's one of the smaller parks in the state park system. But great things can come in small packages, and even though it's small, there is an incredible amount to see and do here. Interstate State Park is located along the St. Croix River in Taylors Falls, Minnesota, and it's only about 45 miles northeast of the Twin Cities. Well, we're here in the park in the springtime, which is a fantastic time to explore. We have 4 miles of hiking trails that offer a lot of diversity of scenery. There's some beautiful overlooks over a wider area of the valley from our river trail. If you're someone who's interested in birds or wildflowers, spring is a great time to get out. We're getting a lot of very small, colorful birds called warblers. We have a beautiful display of wildflowers on our river trail and our Sandstone Bluffs trail. The forest floor in some areas is covered with trillium that's blooming. So we have arrived at the widest pothole in the park, 26 feet wide. One of our most popular programs is our pothole tours. Glacial potholes were formed about 10,000 years ago in this park by a huge mile-wide river of glacial meltwater. As that was coursing south and carving through the very hard rock in this river valley, where it would start to spin and pick up gravel and sand and whip it around and around, it would create basically a liquid drill. And that water and sand was so powerful that it was able to drill very large holes into very hard basalt rock. So this is the Bottomless Pit Pothole. This is the deepest explored pothole in the world. And it was given the name the Bottomless Pit because when they were first starting to excavate or clear this pothole out to see how deep it was, they dug down 45 feet before they stopped. So they called it quits and decided that it must be bottomless, it must go on forever. Well, another crew came in a few years later, they continued to dig, and they actually hit the solid bottom of the pothole at 60 feet deep. So if you were to take a regular-sized school bus and tip it over on its end, you could actually fit 1.5 school buses down inside of this pothole. So it's quite a ways down there. Well, we'll continue on to Angle Rock. This is my favorite spot in the park. And we get to see the St. Croix River, some rapids that are going on right now because the river is kind of high. And the river comes and takes about a 90-degree turn around the rock that we're on right now before it continues downriver. So the rock that we've been walking over and under and through today is all basalt rock. And it's a very hard igneous rock that was formed by lava over 1 billion years ago. So we are going to get a chance to walk through an area here where a large boulder has cracked apart from our basalt wall. And we're going to squeeze through, and as you go, you'll get a chance to reach out and touch this billion-year-old rock. The basalt rock at the park, because of the way that it fractures, offers great hand and footholds for climbers. They're also climbing in an area where they can see the St. Croix River. So they have a fantastic backdrop during their climbing experience. The park is located not very far away from the Twin Cities area, but it's a completely different world that you enter when you step inside of it. You have an opportunity to walk on top of billion-year-old rock that has seen an incredible amount of history march past it, and so there's a lot of stories that the park has to tell.
Beautiful state park, so close to the Twin Cities and so close to a beautiful river, the St. Croix. That about does it for us. Remember to introduce a kid to the great outdoors, maybe take him to that state park. I'm Ron Sharon, of course, always the star of the show is Raven. Oh yeah, I know, you want to be in the picture, don't you?
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. For more information on these stories and more, catch us on the web at mnbound.com.